Hello, this is Mike Cook, and I'm here in my home office with episode 22.4 of Anti-Doping Updates. In today's issue, we've got stories from the equestrian world, and both stories have to do with substances of abuse. First one is Jamie Kermand. He is an equestrian athlete from Australia, and he competes in show jumping with his horse Yandu Oaks Constellation. Jamie Kermand was selected for the Australian Olympic team for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. He was selected for in-competition testing on June 28, 2020 in Australia. And Sport Integrity Australia is the National Anti-Doping Association or National Anti-Doping Organization for Australia, and they have results management authority. Now, in this test, he tested positive for benzoylecgonine, which is the metabolite of cocaine. In the World Anti-Doping Code, there's a reduced sanction of 3 months for substances of abuse like cocaine. However, the reduced sanction is only available if the use is out of competition and unrelated to sport performance. Jamie Kermand argued that his use of cocaine was at a social setting prior to the competition and therefore out of competition and unrelated to sport performance, and so he argued he should get the reduced sanction of 3 months. However, for equestrian competition, the in-competition period starts when the athlete checks their horse in for the competition and ends after the last date of competition for that athlete. So using that definition of in competition, Sport Integrity Australia found that his use of cocaine was in competition, was during the competition period, and therefore the reduced sanction did not apply and the standard sanction of 2 years applied. So he was sanctioned for 2 years. The next story is regarding the FEI, which is the International Equestrian Federation, and 3 athletes who tested positive at the 2019 African Games in Morocco. And those athletes are Mohamed Talat from Egypt, Basim Mohammed from Qatar, and Sheikh Ali Al Thani, also from Qatar. So they were all competing in show jumping in the 2019 African Games, which were held in Morocco, which was a qualifying event for the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. And all 3 riders tested positive for carboxy-THC, which is the metabolite of marijuana. And like in the previous story, marijuana is considered a substance of abuse and is eligible for a reduced sanction of 3 months, but if the use is out of competition and unrelated to sport performance. So these all 3 riders were tested in competition, and so the use was considered to be in competition as well. FEI had results management authority of this since the testing occurred at a major event, the African Games. And there was extensive delay in the proceedings. The FEI notified the athletes of the anti-doping rule violation in April 2020, but a hearing was not held until 14 months later. All 3 athletes had the same 2 arguments. One, they were either inadvertently exposed to marijuana at the shisha bar at the hotel that they were staying at, or that their shisha was sabotaged by a rival team, most likely Morocco. They each said that they had hired a Moroccan lawyer to investigate that claim, but in the intervening 14 months still had no evidence to support their claim of either sabotage or inadvertent exposure to it. They all said that they went to the shisha bar during the competition, after competition days, so that they could relax. The FEI assigned the matter to a single arbitrator who heard it and found that their defense was just speculation and there is no evidence to support it. Accordingly, the FEI found that there is no basis for the reduced sanction and applied the standard 2-year sanction instead. So that's it for anti-doping updates for this week. Next time I'll be back with more stories.